Let me ask you a question that most students avoid. Why does it feel like you're doing everything right, but still not moving forward? You attend lectures. You submit assignments. You write exams. You follow instructions. Yet deep down there's a quiet fear. A fear you don't say out loud. What if this doesn't work? What if I finish school and still feel lost? What if I did everything they told me to do, and it still wasn't enough? This fear doesn't come from laziness. It comes from awareness. Somewhere inside you, you already know. Life is bigger than classrooms. At some point during college, something subtle begins to happen. Not a dramatic moment. Not a clear decision. You don't stop dreaming. You just stop expressing your dreams. You begin to hear certain phrases repeatedly. Be realistic. Focus on graduating first. Secure something stable. Slowly, caution replaces curiosity. Safety becomes more respected than ambition. You learn that asking big questions attracts doubt, that standing out invites pressure, that blending in feels easier. So you adjust. You tell yourself you will return to your dreams later. After exams, after graduation, after stability. But dreams delayed too long often don't survive the wait. Let's go deeper with that situation where we imagine Bill Gates in a different timeline. What if Bill Gates didn't follow his curiosity? What if, instead of building software and taking risks, he followed the conventional path? Imagine this. After college, he studies law because it's considered stable. He finishes with excellent grades. He goes hunting for jobs, submitting resumes, attending interviews, waiting for offers. In that timeline, he gets hired. Maybe a well-paying corporate job, comfortable benefits, predictable monthly income. But something else changes. There's no Microsoft, no Windows revolution, no global software dominance, because his energy, his drive to build something unknown, would have been consumed by the process of fitting in rather than creating out. It's not a knock on education. The point is this: systems that guide you toward employment reward predictability and compliance. They do not reward vision and creation. If Bill Gates had spent his youth focusing only on becoming employable rather than valuable, the landscape of technology might be unrecognizable today. That tells you something important. Creation is different from qualification. Vision is different from performance measured in tests. Entrepreneurial impact doesn't always follow the checklist that society gives you. Some people are never meant to fit neatly into paths. They're meant to build new ones. And when they try to conform first and create later, the world loses more than they gain. Pretty sure you want to own your own Lamborghini someday, right? Now imagine this. You do a 9-to-5 job. You clock in and clock out. You earn a salary. In places like the United States, the typical full-time worker earns around $62,000 to $65,000 per year if they work consistently full-time. That's roughly $1,190 per week before taxes. Let's take a baseline figure of $65,000 per year for a salary earner. A new Lamborghini, one of the more attainable models like a Huracan or Urus, starts around $250,000 to $360,000 plus in the US market. So if you saved every dollar of your salary, which nobody actually does, here is what happens. At $65,000 per year, to save $300,000, to buy a Lamborghini outright would take about 4.5 to 5 years. And that's assuming you never spend on anything else. Realistically, after tax and living costs, it may take 10 years or more before you can afford one. This is a ballpark illustration based on average salary figures. Now let's compare that with an entrepreneur, someone earning profit instead of salary. Imagine a young entrepreneur who builds a digital product, an app, a service, or a business that pays them profit, say $100 per hour in net profit. This type of profit could come from e-commerce sales, freelance consulting, a product they own, or a scalable digital offering. Here's what that means. At $100 per hour, working 8 hours a day, that's $800 per day. In purely numerical terms, to make $300,000, you need 375 working days at $800 a day. That's slightly more than 1 year of work. If you worked every day at that rate, compare the two timelines. A typical salaried worker might need a decade or more to have the cash for a Lamborghini. An entrepreneur with a profit-producing business could reach the same amount in about 1 year if the business sustains that profit level. Neither path is guaranteed. Not every business will earn $100 per hour. Some may earn less, others far more. The comparison highlights a fundamental difference. Salary tends to pay for your time in a constrained way. Profit, entrepreneurship pays for the value you create. Creativity is often misunderstood. People think creativity is talent, or luck, or something only artists are born with. But creativity is simply this: the ability to see value where others don't. Take Jean-Michel Basquiat. He didn't follow a traditional path. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't fit into the systems that existed before him. He painted raw ideas, unpolished thoughts, truths people weren't comfortable with. At first, it looked chaotic, unstructured, even childish to some. But what Basquiat really did was translate emotion, culture, and reality into value. The same drawings that once looked strange later sold for millions. Why? Because value is not about effort alone. It is about impact. Basquiat didn't copy what already existed. He brought something new into the world, and that is the core of creativity. Creativity is not limited to art. It exists in technology, in business, in problem solving. Anytime you solve a problem in a new way, combine ideas differently, create something useful or meaningful, you are creating value. And value is what the world pays for.